So 8 months ago, I needed a quick fix to put up a new mailbox post. And when I looked at my options, I decided to try a no-dig, no-concrete mailbox post solution, and I filmed it. It was one of the first DIY videos I put together and uploaded on this channel, How To with Kevin. In that video, which I'm showing you some of the highlights here, I detailed each step of the project, showing you the products and tools that I used. And then I showed you the completed project and my thoughts on it. And one of those thoughts I shared was wondering how this mailbox post with no concrete around it would hold up over time. And I got a lot of comments from viewers wondering the same thing, many of them saying it was too flimsy and that I absolutely needed concrete. Well, now it's 8 months later and it's been through a full winter with snow and ice, which of course means that when the roads are plowed, the snow is pushed alongside of the road where it will push up against the mailbox post. So now that spring has arrived, I thought it would be a good time to show you how it's holding up, if at all. But before I do that, I just wanted to remind you real quick about the no-dig mailbox post product I used and how it works, because it's important when you think about the durability of the project. As I do that, keep in mind two things. This video is not meant to show you every step I took to install the mailbox post. If you want to see how I did it with all of the details, definitely check out that first video, which I've linked for you in the description. The other thing to know is that I'm not being sponsored for this video. I'm not trying to talk you into this project or anything. I'm just showing you what I did and the products that I used so that you can make the best decision for yourself if this is something you would want to try doing. If after watching this video, and also that first video, you decide that you're interested in trying to install a no-dig, no-concrete mailbox post for yourself, I've also linked the products I use in the description so that they're easy for you to find. Okay, so the product I used is an in-ground anchor post kit made by Gibraltar Mailboxes. Within the kit, there are two items: a steel stake that goes into the ground, and then also a 4x4 wood post that goes onto the stake. If the Gibraltar name seems familiar to you, it probably is, because it's a popular name in mailboxes, with the company having been around since 1957. At the time I bought the kit, it cost around $15. But like everything else being affected by inflation, the price has gone up and is now around $20, so still not too bad. So as you can see, the wood is pre-drilled to make it fairly easy to get the wood onto the stake. And how it works is that you drive the thick part of the stake into the ground, leaving the narrower part sticking out above the ground, and then this is the part that the wood post goes over so it can stand up and support the mailbox. To install the mailbox post anchoring kit, I used a hammer to pound the steel stake in. As I told you in the first video, I didn't use a big sledgehammer because I wanted to go slow and make sure I was pounding it in straight. To double check that, I used to level a couple of times before I got the stake all the way driven in. After the stake is in, you have to put the wood post on top of the stake to start driving it on. Even though the wood post was drilled out, I was concerned that too much hammering could split the wood. So because of that, I decided to use a mallet instead of a hammer to prevent a potential split. After I got it started, I also was able to use my own weight to push it down some without the impact of pounding on the wood. Driving the wood the last couple of inches was definitely harder, so I used the hammer fairly gently to finish it off, but I was able to drive it on without splitting the post. At this point, I also put a new mailbox post sleeve over the wood post. With the Gibraltar anchor kit, you can use any 4x4 mailbox post sleeve you want, as long as it fastens within about 23 inches from the bottom, because that's the length of the post you have to work with. If you're interested in looking into the mailbox post sleeve and mailbox I used, it's one by Postal Pro named the Madison Mailbox and Post Kit. Again, the price has gone up a little since I bought mine, but you can get it in the $50 to $60 range. As I mentioned in the first video, I like the look of it from the picture on the box and the website, but I had to admit it looked a little bit more plasticky in person. But that's really only up close to it. When I'm in the car or looking at it from the house, I think it looks pretty nice. Again, not sponsored, but I've linked it for you in the description. So in the first video, I then showed you how I finished installing the mailbox onto the post. I'll skip talking about all that part and just show you how it looked when I finished it back in August. Now before I show you the mailbox and post today, let me show you a clip on what I said 8 months ago. So I think it's a real easy and quick DIY project to complete. Now I will say I'm not sure how it will hold up over time. It doesn't feel super sturdy when you pull and push on the post. Now, having said that, when I put some decent pressure on it while it flexes, it does come back to the original position every time. But overall, I would say I'm happy with how easy it was to install. It's doing the job, and I would consider doing it again depending on how it holds up. I'll keep you posted. Alright, so it's time for the big reveal. Did it hold up? And if it did, how does it look? Well, as you can see, it's still up. And in my opinion, it still looks really good. Really nowhere to speak of. As far as the eyeball test, it still looks straight. I did use a level and it still appears to be just as upright as the day I put it up. Now, full disclosure, my level was really too long to measure it super accurately because the mailbox post sleeve isn't completely flat because of the decorative style, but again, it just passes the eyeball test as far as it looks like it's standing up straight without any leaning. The other thing to know is it still feels flimsy. Unlike me, it doesn't get less flexible with age. When you open the door, it just doesn't have the sturdiness you would like it to have. But just like I said the day I put it up, even though it flexes, it does go back to the original position every time. I can understand if that concerns you. It's still a thought that I have in the back of my mind. But knowing it's gone through an entire winter, plus I stood up to my mailman who does his best to jam big boxes in there, and it's held up fine, I can tell you at this point I have no regrets. It was an easy project for me that I was able to do myself in under a half an hour. So there you have it, my 8-month update of my no dig, no concrete mailbox post. Again, if you're interested in doing this yourself, check out the full how to easily install a mailbox video to see all of the steps it takes to complete. I hope you found the video helpful, and if you did, please like it. And if you enjoy doing a variety of DIY projects, definitely consider subscribing as I'm looking to do a lot of different types of videos on this channel. I have a lot going on outside of the channel, but the more interest and subscribers that I have, the more I'll do here. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.